So lovely to see you, Gulab bhai. We meet after a long time, and Aryan, we're gonna have a fantastic chat on Talkies. It's been a very long time. We met in Okhla some time back. आप तो खैर पड़ोसी हो, आप में अच्छा हो मेरे को देखा ना हो, मैं आपके ऑफिस से साइकिल पे निकलता हूँ कभी-कभी.
अच्छा.
I go cycling, so we cross India TV.
So you stay close?
I stay in sector 104, which is ATS. So your office is a landmark because this friend of mine has got a Hyundai dealership by the name of Karma Hyundai, right? We'll get them to pay for this now since I mentioned it. So Karma Hyundai का landmark क्या है? इंडिया टीवी के ऑफिस से लेफ्ट.
अच्छा.
ठीक है. So आपका that is a benchmark. In fact, we go cycling, my daughter and I, many times. We crossed your office, right? But we rarely do we meet. So lovely to see you again today. So I have a very important question. Everyone is talking digital. हम तो linear analog के लोग थे पहले. Analog broadcast, फिर digital box आया. Now everything is moving to digital OTT, right? So how does that impact linear transmission? I'll start with you, Aryan. What's your opinion?
See, the core business is content creation and distribution. Medium of distribution and delivery can keep on changing, keep on getting added. As long as you've got good content, the medium does not matter. What matters is the way you're producing it, the way you are delivering it, and what you're saying it. That's the only thing. India TV gives news. If they're relevant, they will be consumed whichever new medium comes. We are giving software. PTC network is producing 80% of the world's original Punjabi television software. As long as we keep doing that, keep being relevant, medium doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But again, टीवी गुलाब भाई, अब मैं कि जिम जाता हूँ तो इंडिया टीवी चल रहा है या आपका कोई म्यूजिक चैनल चल रहा है, वो बैकग्राउंड में चल रहा है. कंजम्पशन बहुत हाई है, पैसिव व्यूइंग भी है. लेकिन जैसे वी मूव टू ओटीटी, विल यू थिंक द पैसिव व्यूइंग खत्म हो जाएगा?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं लगता है खत्म होगा. वो चलता ही रहेगा. अभी थोड़ा डिक्लाइनिंग फेज है, स्पेशली लीनियर टीवी का थोड़ा सा डिक्लाइनिंग फेज है. बट आई थिंक विद द पॉपुलेशन एंड विद सो मेनी मोर opportunities coming up, if you see the number of television sets being sold, if you see all these data, it only points to a larger share of viewership. And I think in tier 1, tier 2 city maximum, this will shift to connected TVs on the non-linear side of it or OTT side of it. But largely, as far as the rural market is concerned, tier 2, tier 3 cities, it will be very relevant.
It is very relevant. How does
also,
that?
If you see, it's a fear that's being created. Digital. When the TV came, people said newspaper is dead. Now
तो न्यूज़पेपर अभी भी चल रहा है. न्यूज़पेपर तो कभी खत्म नहीं हुआ.
Only up, you see the full page ad.
When the cinema came in, TV is dead. Multiplexes came, so who's gonna watch movie on TV? Is dead. FM came, those are music channels are dead. Nothing will die. They will coexist. They'll find their own space. There is a shake-up. Non-serious guys get shaken out. And if you're in serious content creating business, you'll always be relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just continue while we talk about the introductions of our two lovely guests. We've got Gulab bhai here. Gulab Makhija is the CEO and CFO of India TV. It's amongst the top 3 broadcast channels in India. The credit for a lot of back-end work, the guy you don't see in the camera is right here. That's him. PTC has got a lot of credits to its brand. 80% of the global content, you said 80%
Original television software
is commissioned by
I'll
PTC.
tell you a few points which make us unique. We're the only Indian channel which is empaneled in White House.
Empaneled in the White House.
I
What
have
does
a
that mean?
reporter sitting every day in White House attending press conferences. We are inside White House.
Wow.
Inside Canadian Parliament. The only Indian television channel which has studios, its own studios in Canada and in USA. Actually, Canada is a very realistic country. Even if the Prime Minister lands at the airport, he'll pick up his own bags, drive his own car.
No, but as PTC, the brand that you are, Canada, you must be like...
It happens in USA, Canada. There are public welcomes organized. The city of Clovis, the governor comes and gives you a citation. So I feel it's not to me. It's the power of Punjabi people who are the voters, who are the residents of those cities, those countries, who have this power. I'll give you an example. Before PTC started operations in Canada in 2010 or so, there were 2 Punjabi MPs. Now there are 19 of them.
Wow.
The provincial governments of Toronto and British Columbia are headed by a party which has its president as Sikh.
Oh, yes? Oh.
He's being touted as the next probable Prime Minister of the country.
I think that's a very proud moment for India as a country.
Look at UK, look at USA, everywhere is the Indian and especially Punjabis. So they're passionate people, they work hard, do good. That's the character of those people. So the country also adopts them and considers them as their own.
Absolutely.
And since we represent those people, those Indians, those Punjabis, we're their voice. Wherever we are, we operate on that local milieu.
It is.
30% of the content of PTC in Canada is produced in Canada, in US is produced in US. So that makes us unique, that makes us relevant. It's not whatever is being produced in India that's being straight away broadcast there. It's not
thoughts?
Absolutely. Completely agreed. On the news front, Gulab bhai, India TV, and let's be fair with the rest of the brands, Aaj Tak, India TV, globally, they are brands. Like everyone knows when it comes to news of India or from India or created by Indian houses like India TV, Aaj Tak, Z to an extent, ABP. These are big brands. A lot of your content consumption internationally must be happening through OTT, through applications and all, right? So, which are the countries where you get a lot of traction India TV? Like, is it again the same countries because there's a huge amount of Indian diaspora there?
Same Canada and US.
Huge.
Huge. Third would be probably UAE.
Third would be UAE. So my more important question from business side: how do you monetize that consumption?
So,
Do you monetize it?
yes, we do monetize, but I must be frank that the amount of money is not very exciting when it is compared with the Indian business operations. It is growing, but whatever little research we have done, it attracts number one the diaspora.
Yes.
Number two, among the diaspora, many have shifted their preferences to their native languages in those countries. Third, among Indians also there are multilinguals like Malayalam, Telugu. Like for UAE, for example, or Singapore, they consume more of content in Tamil or Malayalam than in Hindi. So among diaspora also the percentage becomes very, very small.
Yeah.
So these are the reasons that, but there's hope. Of course, things will be much better. But so far, it is not.
आपका जो content है, आपका भी, in fact, a lot of we call it incremental reach. जो ratings जो BARC report कर रहा है, that is 160 million homes. That data is obviously being monetized through the regular channel. Besides that, there is almost 50% of the EV consumption that is happening through browser, through OTT, on third-party apps like Amazon or Z5, through OTT, through your own in-house apps. Now, a lot of publishers are facing challenges how to monetize that. If this is selling at an X amount, there is another half X to be made here also, right? So, isn't that an area of worry? How do you want to get how are you monetizing it? Is all perception sales? What is it? क्योंकि उसका extra पैसा तो दे नहीं रहा advertiser.
बिल्कुल नहीं दे रहा है, बिल्कुल नहीं दे रहा है.
नहीं वो तो, but that is a fundamental right, not a right. It's something the industry needs to invest further into content.
But I would put it this way: it is still evolving. If I may say, it appears the potential is there. How much nobody knows at this moment of time, because there are now a new model coming up like LG, Samsung's or MI of the world are asking you to embed their channel on their TVs.
Right.
They do some revenue sharing. Then the question arises that if we need to sign these kind of deals, then we have to, in our television deals, we have to write down specifically that on these markets, on these television sets, it may not be available. Otherwise, it will create disputes in the future. So how do we balance it out is a question. And I think from my perspective, what we are doing is we are giving more and more emphasis on the television advertisers. And we are right now exploring the possibilities, because at this moment, even on a full-blown basis, the revenue opportunities are not significant.
They're not.
So there's a reason to it. The trouble is the industry's Bible is BARC, TV ratings.
Correct.
There is no mechanism to provide you ratings on digital.
Yes.
Now we've been after BARC, use us as a test case, put your watermark on our digital streams.
Okay.
And give ratings. They don't do it. The trouble, I'll tell you, the BARC is being influenced largely by these big broadcasters. Z-Star, Sony's of the world, big advertisers, HUL, Medicine. It suits them to have a single point rating agency, giving a single point thing. We have a set formula, set pattern. सुबह उठेंगे, ऑफिस जाएंगे, हम चार्ट देखेंगे बाग का, उसमें पड़ा कौन कितना है, allocate करो, advertiser is happy, client is happy, broadcaster is happy, they walked out with the money. The innovation is happening in regional or in news channels or these places. They are available everywhere, but nobody is doing the measurement. There is no currency in the market which places you at par
with the rest.
With the rest.
So so we will take this offline as well, but we've been aggressively investing on digital measurement, and we're seeing a lot of traction in terms of measuring connected TV. So as we move forward, I will come back to you with that
TV
data.
Is one, Facebook is one, YouTube is one, OTT is one. There are different platforms now where beams are going.
Right.
Now the trouble is these big guys, they don't own rights for digital or for US or for Canada or for this place or that place or this content. Those who produce their own, they produce their own news, they have every right to everything they're broadcasting.
Right.
But the big guys don't. So it doesn't suit them. They will lose out in digital space. Now you can have Big Boss doing very well on TV. It's It's not going to be on digital. There are rights issues, there are music rights issues, video rights, all these issues. So then put it up. They have their own platform where they will put it. Now the trouble is, no mechanism, no agency is doing a content-wise monitoring of ratings.
Yeah.
If that happens, the tables will turn.
I think that's very well put, but that will happen. I can assure you that a lot of agencies are working on that front because eventually everything is moving to digital. Measurements got to be digital. It will happen, and we are part of the thing on that one. But I think what we unanimously agree on the fact is as we move along, the medium of consumption might change. Instead of through a cable, it's going direct. But as far as linear TV is concerned, which both of you head, so at a senior level, I think that will continue, and that will only continue to grow. Not only will it grow as part of the industry.
Television viewing is a family viewing time.
Television is completely
linear
valid, which is not there on.
Again, I'm telling you, India TV is seen through the cable or through DTH, or PTC is seen through Facebook, YouTube stream, or OTT stream, or cable. It shouldn't matter and won't matter.
Yeah.
As long as my audience can be defined and measured, I'll have no problem. Right now, I'm forced to follow one Bible, whereas the places.
No, I think if you read a lot of movements within the system, also there won't be that one Bible. I think there is going to be much more addressability. There will be much more stronger.
The audience is becoming global.
Audience is becoming global.
The amount of viewership we have in Canada or US or Europe.
You have a separate feed. You have a separate advertising.
Separate feed, separate programming.
India TV would not have separate feed. Would you have separate?
We do have.
Lovely. You have separate advertising for us.
Separate marketing setup there, separate studios there, which are producing content locally. I have to be relevant to that audience which is changing and evolving. The Indians who went there 25 years ago and were missing their home are not there anymore. Now the new generation has come in.
That's
they
right.
live, they breathe that country, that place. Now in Canada also I have separate beams from Toronto and separate one for British Columbia. The British beam is a different beam. US and New York and California beams are separate. The lifestyle is separate. So the content has to be separate. I have to be relevant. If I'm relevant, I'll survive. So we're doing very good in those countries where we're producing locally, selling locally, marketing locally. Now sitting here, I can't go and approach a sweet shop for the Diwali sale bumper or such offer sitting from here in say a place like Mississauga. But my Canada office can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a point taken. As we move along, there has to be more addressable mechanisms, which are happening as things are moving. But the future, I think, remains bright for linear, for the business that we've been in for the longest time. More specifically to you, since news is always under the question of noise in news, I can personally tell you for a fact that as far as anchoring is concerned, the least noisy is definitely Rajat Sharma. It's an established fact. I think he does it with a calm. Please do convey that to him, and I'm sure he's going to watch that, right? And it was a fantastic chat with Gulab Makhija, CEO and CFO of India TV, and RN as he's addressed to in the industry, Rabindra, Narayan, who's again MD for PTC Network. Fantastic chatting up with you, and how Corona said this is so you don't shake hands anymore. They give a hi to each other, right? Lovely. I think we should break for lunch and have some good meat. Thank you so much.